For the first minute of this video, I'll be referring to this game as Sharkman and His Friends, since the original title has two words that YouTube doesn't like so much. To be fully transparent, I participated in extremely early alpha testing for Sharkman and His Friends. Myself and so many other testers wrote literal essays to Warner Brothers and Rocksteady about what needed to be fixed, how so, and why. I'm here to tell you that the version of the game that I'm playing a year and a half after launch is the exact same version that I play tested nearly 2 years ago. I'm aware that it's difficult to make fundamental changes a year before release, but as far as I can tell, there were no changes made to this game from the pre-alpha testing I did in full release. With that being said, I think Sharkman and His Friends is honestly some of the most fun co-op gaming that I've had in the last few years. Let's get the brunt of the hate out of the way. The game's launch was disastrous, but why? I believe it all comes down to expectation. With this being a Rocksteady title in the Arkham universe, it was almost unanimously decided that this was going to be another Arkham-style game. But that wasn't decided by the studio creating the game, that was decided by the consumers and fans of the game. The idea of a game studio trying something new in an already established IP is such an extraterrestrial concept to most of you, that the game was instantly written off as a horrible attempt at a live service cash grab. Well, I'm here to tell you, dear gamer, that you're kind of right. The entire game's marketing and pitch, hell, the title is literally called Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Yeah, the game took us about 6 hours to roll credits. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is not a story-based co-op campaign, and it never was. I'm not sure what fart for brain came up with the marketing strategies for this game, but clearly they didn't work. The game is a looter shooter. You play through the story mode to unlock these repetitive missions where they'll potentially drop higher gear loot. If you play Destiny, Borderlands, Diablo, or any other loot game, then you know what you're getting into. The game is also a buggy mess. Completely take away the fact that my friend and I have systems well above the recommended specs and we're still getting constant issues, there are just bugs. Enemies constantly T-pose, you'll be teleported around seemingly at random, and not to mention actual game-breaking bugs such as my friend being downed, but me not being able to revive him.
Yeah, I don't think you'll be dead for...
Wait, what?
Or endgame episode progression not being applied to you. You might spend 30 minutes killing enemies with your friends only to finish the incursion and your friend gets 13 levels while you don't gain any XP at all. Why? It's a bug, I'm not sure. Looping back to the story real quick, I actually kind of liked it somewhat. Mostly it was good in some parts, I think. So, essentially, Brainiac's invaded Earth. He has a plan to terraform it to be a habitable planet for his species. He captured and turned the Justice League into evil brainwashed losers, and somehow the only people left in the area are the Suicide Squad. This includes Deadshot, Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang, and of course King Shark, with 4 additional characters we'll talk about later. Through the game, you'll have to do small missions to increase your overall level until you can unlock the next story mission. These missions usually consist of killing enemies or extracting civilians. The missions are good, but the biggest thing that holds back the flow of gameplay is the post-mission screen. In single player, it's not too bad, but every time you do a co-op mission, even if you just stumble across it in the open world, upon completion, you'll be dragged into an unskippable cutscene showing who got the highest score. When you get to some of the later stages of the game, some of these missions don't even take us longer than 1 minute and 30 seconds. So we spend nearly the same amount of time playing the game as we do on the post-game screen. After you reach a certain ranking, you'll unlock the ability to take on a member of the Justice League. So, think about this really quick. What's the title of the game? Right. It's Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Okay, now, out of every Justice League member, the only ones that appear in the game are Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, kinda Flash, Wonder Woman is there sometimes. Out of all of those, the only ones that you actually fight are Superman, kind of Batman, Green Lantern, and the Flash 9,000 times. No Wonder Woman fight, no mention of Martian Manhunter or Green Arrow or any of the dozens of other Justice League members. I'm not saying that I expected them to line them all up so that we can fight them one at a time. I'm just saying that if you're gonna name the game, you're gonna kill this group of people, but I only kill 3 out of 9 of them, then maybe the game should be called the Suicide Squad Try to Kill the Justice League. Why not just name the game Suicide Squad? Anyways, the story is kinda all over the place. Lex Luthor accidentally dies, and we conveniently find another Lex Luthor from a different dimension who just so happens to have had this happen to his world already. It's all just too convenient, but like I said earlier, the story really isn't the point of the game. The story is merely a catalyst to get you to the real endgame content, so let's just skip ahead. If you truly do care about the story, then I really do recommend picking this game up. It's constantly on sale for like $5, and it's a great time with friends. So, we've gotten to the end game. You and your friends have just rolled credits, maxed out all your characters, and have the rest of the game at your fingertips. What now? Well, from here you either go into Finite Crisis or pick an episode. Finite Crisis is almost the endless content for the endgame, with each episode being an expansion upon that. Upon writing, the game has 8 episodes, and I don't believe that there are plans to release any more after this, which truly is unfortunate. But let's go over how these episodes work. You go into what's called the Nexus, and you scroll through the episode list in perhaps the worst UI I've ever seen in a video game. You have to individually scroll through each episode. There's no animation skipping either, so you just have to wait for the episode to load before you can go to the next one. Why? I'm not sure. The game is filled with these convoluted systems. My theory is that every single team developed a different system without speaking directly or working together, so when all these systems and mechanics are thrown together, they just don't work. I can go talk to the Penguin to reroll all the stats on my gun. Or I can go to a completely different room and talk to the Toyman and reroll a specific stat on my gun. Why are these options not given by the same character? It's dumb. Every episode has its gimmick weapons. Finite Crisis has Bane abilities, which basically just afflict enemies with craze when you get a good combo. It's completely foreign to understand, and the game does not help you when it comes to build crafting. But once you start to piece things together in tier sets and stuff, then it starts to make a little more sense. Every episode after Finite Crisis just must have rolled the dice or had a manatee pick their stats because most of them suck. Most of the other gear pieces come down to something like this. When doing a slide attack near 5 poison enemies, increase the amount your shield recharges. Or, when you melee 4 enemies in a row while surrounded by brutes, you gain 2000% melee bonus damage as long as it's within 3.3 seconds. These buffs just don't matter. Like, yeah, there's overall damage boosting weapon tiers, but to use those you need to have these terrible dog water weapon abilities as well. I'm not sure if I'm completely misunderstanding the systems at play or what, but I don't think a system needs to be this advanced for a game like this. You really have to think about every little thing you do later on in the game. And speaking of later in the game, I want to talk about the 4 other characters you can obtain. Deathstroke, Mrs. Freeze, Lawless, and the Jokester. When you play as the original 4 members like Shark, his abilities are pretty simple. Slam, jump, and do damage with guns. The more you use Slam, the bigger damage you do. But when it comes to somebody like Deathstroke, his moveset is just convoluted. I know I've said that word like 100 times so far, but I can't think of any other way to put it. Deathstroke's talent abilities are like when you slide for 3 seconds after killing an enemy with a crit attack, then the next 4 bullets will do ice damage. Like what? Are we serious? This one says, critical reloads with shotguns when the magazine is above 50% will cause your next 3 shots to be electrified. What? Are we serious? The game calls this playstyle strategist, but I prefer the term overbloated. Even while playing as Deathstroke and completely ignoring these talents, you'll still outdamage everyone else. It's not needed, which is why I'm choosing the word convoluted. Lastly, I want to talk about the in-game shop in the Battle Pass. I know that this has caused a ton of controversy at launch, but I can confidently say that you can access every bit of content that this game has to offer completely for free after your initial purchase. All additional characters can be unlocked for free in-game, and you can earn premium currency just from playing the game. The only thing that you could potentially spend real money on is outfits for your characters, which is your decision. Overall, I'm incredibly surprised with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. I don't think that this is the game that Rocksteady wanted to put out, but I think that for what we got, it really is amazing. There will be a time when this game gets completely delisted and removed from storefronts. So if you've ever had an interest in this game, I would suggest picking it up on the next possible sale. Because with the way things are going in the gaming industry right now, I think we need to stop denouncing games for having a system we've been burnt by in the past, and potentially start embracing the idea of innovation on those ideas. But all that's going to start with you.